Well, hey there, friend. Step right in and grab a figure. And welcome to the Pret Pool Channel. Here at the Pret Pool Channel, let's talk about the new action figure I got. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Maybe you might like how it looks, or maybe how it moves with its joints, or maybe you like the stuff it comes with. But no pressure, my friend. Just enjoy the show today, right here at the Pret Pool Channel. So go on and give us like, or be bold and click subscribe. After all, it's a free ride to the Pret Pool Channel.
Hey, welcome back. This is Pret Pool. Thank you for clicking on this video. Appreciate you taking the time to look at it, and perhaps this is a figure that you're interested or not sure whether you want to get it or not. So hopefully this review or just observation of this figure helps you decide one way or the other. So we're going to be reviewing today Axytoys Dinosaur Battlefield Ceratopsidae Dinosaur Legion, and this is the gray version. They got a red version, they got a yellow version, and I think they have a green version, but I got the gray version. This is the one I like because he comes with this shield that we see here, and we'll talk about that later with the accessories. This is a really fun figure. I really enjoyed. There's some pros, there's some improvements from prior figures from this line. And there are some things that, as far as more with QC, or things that could improve upon to really avoid any damage to your figure. Let's put it that way. So let's start things off. Let's get the accessories out of the way. He doesn't have a whole lot of accessories. Some of it's already on him. So, for example, we have here he comes with hands, and they all seem to be kind of gripping, holding hands. So he has these here that seem like trigger. Now, I think the reason why he got it because they're all across the board comes with the same hands, and I think one of the other versions come with a crossbow. So because that one has a crossbow, he has this type of hand, but they kept all the same hands, it seems, with every version of this figure. And usually the body are the same for the 4 different versions. The differences will be the weapons, the sculpting of the armor, and they have different head sculpts, but the base body, like the arms, the torso, the legs, they're pretty much the same, just different colors. So we have this pair of hands as far as, again, like trigger figure. He has already like gripping hands on there, which is like a tighter grip on them. And then he has these, which they're a little bit looser or a little bit more wide as far as between his thumb and index finger. So and these hands here are kind of closer to the hands previous dinosaurs of this line comes with. He has, again, better gripping hands on him, and that's one of the improvements from the prior figures of this line. Prior, like the kind of like Carnosaurs type characters, their gripping hands weren't that great. They tend to be really loose. The weapons were kind of wobbly. Well, with this guy, his gripping hands are very much improved upon compared again to the other line. So we got that. He has, when you buy him from package, he has these the wrist guards or gauntlets, however you want to call them, on him. I took them off because with them on, it kind of hinders little bit his elbow articulation. But they're really nice, painted, sculpt. They're really awesome. This little piece on top of here becomes loose, and you have to attach it to it. So basically, the idea with these figures, you can mix and match different parts within the figure itself or with other figures within the line. So they could have easily just sculpted this on here, but they want to at least give you some customization they can do on your own if you wish. But yeah, he comes with these on already in package, but I took them off just to improve articulation. Other things that he comes with, when you get him in package, his horns are off, so you have to put them on. Now, if you notice on this horn, there's some white on there, some of the paint came off, And believe it or not, it's not from putting it in and out on here. This horn by itself, I dropped it on the floor, not even on the figure, and it kind of like chipped. So that happened. Now the horn is still under secure, but unfortunately that, this is kind of like, it's a little bit delicate, it seems. So we see some of it again, because I dropped the horn by itself. Some of the paint came off, and this, like the plastic seemed to have like got damaged. So, but that's one of the QC issues I want to mention. The sculpt. Again, going back to accessories, so like this and this, those are also not on him. You have to put it on. So you can, if you want to put this here, if you want to put this there, you can do so. The belt is also something additional you can add on, and it's an actual belt, so you have to clip it on, and it has, there's a strap. And this is then you have his very large knife that he comes with, very nicely painted. It's got a nice design to it, goes very well in his sheath, doesn't come out loosely. So there's an accessory, and it has like you just put the belt through there. You can just have the belt by itself for some reason if you wish. His knee pads also, they come off. You can put them on and off. They also come separate. He has this cape in the back. It's wired, but it seems kind of small for him. So like if you look at him this way, you barely see the cape. And what the part in the bottom where it does kind of show is, this part kind of covers it, so you don't really see it. So it's only from behind. And with the wire, you can only do so much as far as to extend it out. So I find the cape kind of small for him compared to the other offerings in this line. When they had cloaks and capes and whatever, they're quite big. So there's that. And before we go more into sculpt and articulation, there's one other accessory. Well, actually two. The thing I want to talk about next is his spear. This is a very nice spear. So if you see here, the sculpt, really nice. You got the grip here. This actually moves, so you can adjust where you want him to hold the spear. So that's pretty neat. The spear itself, this part here and here, this is metal. So that is pretty cool that they provided a metal spear. So you don't have to worry about it warping in package. You don't have to worry about it warping if he's holding on to it, etc. Now the tips, the spearhead, that and that are separate pieces. That is plastic. Now that's where a QC issue comes in. To insert this into there, it is a very tight fit to get that in there, this plastic into the metal part. And so you kind of have to twist it very slowly in there, because you can't heat this part because it's metal, so it's not going to adjust as far as the hole. And if you heat this, the peg is here, so it's going to be too rubbery and it's not going to really go in. So you're kind of stuck there where you have to try to twist it in little by little. So I was able to do that successfully here. This one, the main spear part, it broke. So I was putting it and it just snapped in there. So this is glued on. I had to glue this on there, and so it's permanent, which would have been permanent anyways. But the fact that I had to glue that on there, but now moving forward, I have to be careful, because even though it's glued tightly for now, if I misuse it, whatever, it's going to break off again. So there's that. So that's two negatives. It was the horn and the spear. Glad the spear was metal. It's cool, so forth, but they could have executed a little bit better. The shield is awesome. This is a huge shield, and it's got some nice paint. It's a nice sculpt, and you have arrows that come separately, and you have like little holes that you attach each arrow into the shield. So you can put all of them, you could put some of them, and some are straight, some are already bent. Those come already bent on purpose just to give, again, that more battled effect happening. And you can just pull one out, okay, and the holes are there, and you can again adjust according to how you want. If you don't want the arrows on there, you just take out all the arrows. But yeah, this is a very nice shield, and it's very big. So if you put it in front of him directly, that's how big the shield is. Now you have two handles. You have one that's again across here, and then you got this one. This one comes separate a piece. You just attach it to there, twist, so you can adjust how you want them to hold it. So that's pretty cool. This emblem here is also removable. So there you go. You can put that on there if you, or leave it off. I'm leaving it on. So yeah, that's pretty nice shield. So articulation, he can move his head up quite a bit. He has a double barbell, and if you can see, okay, but he gets some nice, his horn fell off because like I mentioned, I dropped the horn by itself earlier and it chipped, but it goes back in. So there's that. He can do the T-pose even with the shoulder pads on. He can still rotate with the shoulder pads on. They kind of move up and down. Crunch. He doesn't get a whole lot of crunch. But him being a tank, he does kind of lean back a little bit. There we go. He can do a T-pose. I mean, Van Damme, my bad. Okay. He does have a single joint here. He does have a bicep swivel. He has his joint here. So he has one of these where you can just adjust to how you want it. The hands come in and out pretty good. His hands are kind of like a rubbery type plastic, so you don't have an issue popping them in and out. So that's pretty neat. He seems to have an articulated type jaw going on there. I think I think I see a joint there, but it's really difficult to open his mouth. I almost feel like I might break it if I go too far with it. So I don't mess around with too much, and it kind of starts slipping back into place. So there's that. He does have double jointed knees. Now these are hindered because of the armor. So if I were to remove this, you'll be able to adjust, go further with it. But he goes fairly decent. And then, he has, he can move, he has the same type of joint with his ankle as he does with his wrist. So, and then you can get nice swivel rocker. So for being like a tank type character, he has good articulation. Now what hinders him will be the armor. I took his waist up, you can pull his waist apart, take off his belt. You can take his arms off and take out, his armor, and he can be bare without any of his armor on and be naked. And then that would improve more his articulation. But I got him because I want him to have this look, this Roman legionnaire type character. So according to the story, from what I'm gathering, is these guys are pretty much the bad guys, and like all the carnivores are the good guys in a way. They're the suppressed, and these are the militant people or characters that are kind of fairly the bad guys. So there's that. All right, so now let's do some comparisons. Now here's another one from the leader from the Axytoys, from the carnivores type characters. So they're fairly the same height. There you go. So the same height. Now this one, he's more intricate because a lot of the little bits and pieces are removable. So he has a lot more going on with him as far as accessories and whatnot. A lot more customization can do with his pieces. Now again, going back to the Triceratops shield, we see how big this is, right? Now when I got this guy, I was impressed with his shield because I was like, man, that is huge. Yeah, well, this new character shield dwarfs that by a lot. So, but this is a huge shield by itself in a different way. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like them both. Again, these are fun figures. They do have some QC issues going on with them. This one seems a little bit more loose joints. This one, his joints are better. They're tighter. Not like you have to heat the joints or anything like that, but they're nice and snug. His better grips. It's just two main things that I mentioned about the horn and the spear. All right, so let's get this guy out. And he's stuck somehow. There we go. Get him off. And let's compare this dude to some other characters that I have. Here we have X-Ray. So here we have one of those trainee guys in which I put some custom armor on him. Oops, there you go. Okay. And then we'll put Cosmic Legions. This is Vitus. Looking forward to the new version that's coming out. But again, you have to wait 1.5 years or more for that. So here we go. So we got those characters. Now let's put some anamorphic characters. Here we have Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. I have one of those ape characters. Okay. And then we have Savage Crucible. And I like this guy with him because they got the whole Roman thing going on, both of them. So I'm going to have them kind of working together. So yeah, they look nice together. And I always like to put some female characters just so that we can get good comparison as far as height and width, etc. So here we have from Oaktown, Elf. See if I can get her stand. There we go. And last, here we go with X-Ray from Berenice. And actually just remember something I wanted to mention about this character. Well, she's not going to stand here apparently. There we go. Alright, so there's the size comparison with the ladies. Now, as I'm going to say, there is one other thing I forgot to mention about this guy. He also has his tail. So the tail comes in as a separate piece in the package. So it's removable. Okay, comes like that. So it leaves an ugly peg in the back. So I don't foresee myself ever removing this, unless maybe for a picture or something, if this is in the way, but I doubt it. And he does have a slight bendy wire in there. So you have like the hose here, and it can bend it slightly. It's not overly, it's not crazy or anything like that, and you can get some differences on there. The tip part seems to be the most that you can bend, while in the midsection it doesn't seem to want to bend a lot. So do I recommend this figure? Yeah. I think for me, just one of this type of character is fine for me. There's 4 different ones, and they actually have a bare bones one, which is not hugely price difference. I think it's only like $10 difference, but it has no armor and just some cloth goods. But for like $80 something or more to army build these guys, that's too much for me. I don't like army building that price range. So having one guy is fine. And I like this color compared to the other ones. The other ones are nice too, but I like this one with the shield. I'm good with the spear. So it's it's a fun figure. So again, I got mines from Bum Us B, and Also, forgot one other accessory. He has this helmet. So this helmet, you have to take off the horns and it goes over his head, and then you have to put the horns back in, so forth. And then does have hinges on the sides. So I don't really care to have this on him. So I like seeing his head sculpt. Appreciate that more. And what I did, I painted this sword from Mythic Legions, and I give him that so he can have a long sword, because the knife he comes with seems a little short for him to be used as a sword. So this works for me. So I just put that in there. And actually I got the wrong gripping hand on there, but with the other gripping hands, which would be this one, you can have him hold this sword. So that's what I'll display him with. Alright, so again, thank you for clicking on my video. Appreciate you taking the time to do so. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. I have plenty of other videos that you can also check out of other figures from other lines that you might be interested in seeing. So again, continue collecting, enjoy the hobby, continue treating each other well, and I hope to see you next time in another review that I may do. Alright, talk to you guys later. Bye.